Hey guys, welcome back again to the Cut Light and Smoke podcast. It's Cut Light and Smoke podcast, presented by Zeal Cigar, cigarsoapbox.com, and it's always coming to you live from the Huddle Up Stores studios here in beautiful, sunny, today warm Phoenix. I am joined here with my co-host with the mostest, and this is Know It All JB. JB, say what's up to the people.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude. So we got kind of a new setup. We're feeling it. We like it. I hope you guys like it at home. And we're talking about some great stuff today, actually, that will be posted all over Rumble and everywhere else in our social media. But we're talking about how we got banned from YouTube again, JB. But we're smoking some really good cigars, and you're trying to find out where the sweet spot is there. JB, first tell them about the cigar before we get into the topic today. It is. This is the Bongani. Bongani?
I would imagine it's either Bongani or Bongani, which sounds almost the same, but it means be grateful.
Okay.
And I don't know what language. It's an African language. It means be grateful.
So tell me what's so special about these cigars. You've had this cigar before.
Yeah. So according to what the manufacturer says, it is an all African cigar.
Oh,
African
okay.
Cameroon wrapper around African filler.
Africa. That's where it all came from, bro.
Well, and
Garden of Eden's in Africa.
Allegedly, they brought a bunch of rollers from the DR to Africa. So you've got Dominican skilled rollers now making African cigars.
Okay.
They haven't really hit the U.S. market, but they're kind of around Africa, the Middle East, and into getting into Europe. But yeah, we had a friend of the shop that got us these initially.
Yeah.
And then now they've actually sent us these this time to smoke and talk about.
Because you kept talking about it. You kept saying, you mentioned it on several different videos that we've done.
Dude, LeVar Ball, dude, speak it into existence.
Well, LeVar Ball is kind of weird, so I'm not gonna comment on LeVar Ball.
His son still ended up at the Lakers.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Regardless of what.
That's okay. I don't believe in that mumbo jumbo, trust me. But I will say this cigar just off the rip is very, very good. Mm-hmm. It's a very good balance of spice and subtle sweetness. I really do like it. It's all African. I don't know if I've had an all African cigar. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if I've ever had a Bongani cigar. But I am grateful. Bongani, thank you for sending us these cigars. And so far, very, very good. What's the MSRP on the cigar? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay.
I didn't look that up when I was looking before. Let me see.
While JB is actually looking that up, I'll go out and take a moment to tell you that we're very grateful for you guys tuning in to our podcast channel here on YouTube and on Rumble, and all the other social media will be down in the right below, above in the description below, essentially. So look in the description below, and you can find our other YouTube channels, and as well our other social media links on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, or now X, whatever it's called. So you'll find us there as well. So
looks like about
TikTok.
$12 or so.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. All right.
That was for it says a single Robusto with the white label, which is the other cigar that we have, and they have that one listed at $11.90. It's Dave. So I would imagine that this one's probably just a little bit more than that.
Okay.
So
okay.
He it's Dave. He let me know it was coming in.
Okay.
But yeah, all African tobacco, man. It's the first time I smoked it, I was like, man, it's like Cuban but different.
It's complex. It's very complex. I mean, just from the rip, I was like, wow, that's very, very complex. I really like it. Very, very, very good cigar and stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what it turns out to. But a lot of people want to hear from us on what we think about the whole YouTube ban and everything else like that. So I can tell you this right now. We're not banned. We have a strike against us on YouTube. So essentially what ends up happening is YouTube, the AI bots or whoever they are, they find something that you said that they don't like. Now, they won't tell you exactly what that is, but they'll flag and they'll give you a section. And in there, you're supposed to know what you said that was wrong. I wasn't sure what we said that was wrong. In fact, we were actually reviewing not a cigar, but a cigar accessory.
Yeah, that mouthpiece.
Right. So what ended up happening is they ended up giving us a community strike, which 3 strikes and you're out and your channel's banned. In fact, our last channel was banned. And so as a result of that, Best Cigar Reviews on YouTube, our main channel, that is in the jail for right now. So we won't be able to post till next week on that channel. And it's been a little frustrating because I'm having to learn a lot more social media that I'm used to, and I don't like learning new things necessarily that I'm not always going to use, because we primarily use YouTube to get our information out there. But YouTube's kind of, they're kind of fickle, to say the least. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's so subjective, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a double-edged sword, because I can literally watch a U.S. Special Forces soldier go in and wipe out like a house full of Iraqi insurgents. I can watch Ukrainian soldiers like blow up Russian soldiers on YouTube right now.
You can watch softcore gangs
shoot each other.
Porn, yeah. Softcore porn.
I can watch a lady who repairs motorcycles in suspenders where her nipple kind of just slides out to the left. But like those channels are allowed on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very
I wonder
weird.
I wonder if it's because YouTube's played nice with us for a very long time so far.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had a strike in a minute.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm wondering if, and there's a lot of conservative channels out there, and so we typically get lumped in politically with conservative values and conservative thinking channels, if you would, and rightly so. We're pretty conservative in our thinking and our values, but there's a sense of where I don't play nice with all those guys as well. So I'm not a really big political guy. I don't take a really hard stand on a lot of things, although I'm very passionate about where I stand and so on and so forth. So I don't know if we got lumped into that, or we said something that was kind of weird about maybe Biden or something like that. But I mean, they've already demonetized us. They push us down in the rankings and everything else like that. Almost all major cigar channels are pushed down very low. They don't recommend channels a lot. So you liking this channel and subscribing to this channel is really big to us and would really make us grateful, like Bongani says, if you would do so, because that raises our chances of getting out there to more people that like content like this. So I think one of the hard parts about getting a strike against YouTube is it feels personal immediately when it happens. I mean, like, well, I'm like, why me? What I do? So
well, they immediately yank the video down. Mm-hmm. They just tell you it's a community strike. They don't tell you what guideline you broke. They don't tell you what part of the video. Now, when you appeal it, there are times where I've seen they'll send you back. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, at this point in time in the video,
they did not do that this time.
I know. Well, I know that.
Yeah.
But it's up to your discretion to do the digging and see what terms and service may have changed differently that wasn't before. Right. And it's up to you to go back and find videos that might violate new terms and service agreements. And if you don't, then Mr. AI bot finds a video from 3 years ago and shoves it up your butt. Right.
There's a lot of videos on there that don't have the connections and so on and so forth still that I'm always kind of worried. I'm like, oh, they're going to tag that sometime. And that's essentially what they did on the Zeal Cigar Review channel. So we'll probably end up starting another channel on YouTube and posting more of our videos up there just as a backup channel. So make sure you look at the descriptions on all of our channels to find the backup link to our backup channel, and we'll be posting new content there as well, just in case there are more strikes come out. So we got one community strike, maybe there'll be two more, in the waiting. I don't know what's going to happen. So, but this coming,
basically, as long as we don't violate another community guideline, or they don't find another video under our profile that violates community guidelines before October, whatever, right? Then we're okay. The strike falls off, and you don't have to worry. But when you get two strikes, you're really
it's like 2 weeks or a month that you can't post on YouTube and so on and so forth.
Then
so
it lasts longer.
Yeah.
So then you're really walking a tightrope until those strikes fall off, and that's really what they want to do. They just want to try to suppress you as much as possible.
And they don't like. I mean, I'm sure there's people in the community that in the cigar community they don't like. They don't think it's good for YouTube in general. Although they're making all kinds of, they're making all kinds of money off ad space.
Oh, for sure,
for everybody, So it's weird. I'm a subscriber to YouTube Premium as well, at home. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos, anyways, and I always get sideways about it because I love YouTube Premium.
I wish I wasn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes, bro.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you're, are you YouTube Premium too? Do you watch it at home and stuff like that?
Yeah, because I watch a lot of channels. But
right.
Those channels deserve other places to go, and there's just not any. Like the Y-Files.
Yeah, I love
that channel. Needs to have a TV. Like they need a TV deal. They need a show that's on weekly, and just keeps going. It doesn't have seasons. It's just an ongoing show, and just let the dude roll.
I would love that. I mean, that guy's really good, by the way.
But
Yeah, so
for the best in his interest and the interest of the show, it's probably better for him to stay on YouTube and be independently contracted,
Right.
And making his YouTube videos, running his store, his Patreon account, whatever else he's doing, right?
And I get it. I mean, I know that we're in a regulated, area where the government regulates tobacco. I understand that. I understand that they don't want young kids getting tobacco. We don't want young kids getting tobacco either.
I hate to break your guys' balls. Young kids aren't looking for cigars, bro. They're not. They're in the vape shops. They're in the weed shops.
Yeah.
They're not coming in here for cigars. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The average, I think the average person tried their first cigar above 24 was a national average. So why somebody would worry about that? Now, I understand that YouTube has a huge outreach to kids.
Oh, it's
like it's. I mean, the number one YouTube video is the Coco Melon, where they're singing songs, stuff like that, which is true. It's kind of a sad, narrative of our time that a lot of parents will put their kids down in front of YouTube, turn on Coco Melon, and then leave them alone because they want to break from the kids. I get it. Back when I had kids, my kids were little, we had Baby Einstein. So Baby Einstein came out. It was like classical music. At least that was classical music. Who knows what this is now? So, and I'm not trying to say that Coco Melon's a bad channel or anything like that, but I get they're trying to protect kids, but I think there's better ways to do it without isolating parts of the community that has something to offer, even outside cigars, because there's things that we do outside cigars that are really, really interesting to a lot of people that it tends to get brushed under the rug because of these YouTube bans when things stop. I mean, a lot of great things happened this week.
Yeah.
We really did. We want to share, but we can't do that right now because of the YouTube strike.
Well, I had a curious question, right? Like, doesn't YouTube have a kids account, like a YouTube kids account that you can set up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you go to a hotel room and your parents go into the bathroom to take a shower, or mom wants to take a bath, and dad goes downstairs for a minute, right? You got to go to the lobby or next door to the grocery store, right? And he leaves the kids in the bedroom, 2 brothers. Mom's in the bathroom taking a shower. They order the porn movie on the whose problem is that? Right?
Yeah.
It's like YouTube is making it our problem that kids can get access to our channels instead of the parents' problem getting not putting their kids on a YouTube child account.
Yeah, there's obviously some things that we have problems with, but there's things that I also respect about what they do. Like, I do respect the fact that they're cautious about kids getting I like the fact that we click the 18
Well, if
link.
they were that cautious, they'd be looking more at the content that's actually getting posted for kids. If you really want to get serious, don't get me started.
Yeah, and now I think you have a really good point there.
Pepper Pig looks like a dong, dude.
I think I think that there's a lot of things that, like, YouTube tries to maybe for the sake of saving face they do. Where they're kind of like,
Keep
hey,
hitting
this is
my
we're gonna do this.
microphone.
But I think the reality still exists that if you're in a regulated, if you're in any of the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, or firearms, and you have a YouTube channel, you're obviously demonetized. You're not going to get that. So if you use Patreon or something like that, we don't use that. We don't have a Patreon. But I think the reality behind it is it's just going to get harder and harder for that until Elon Musk releases this Twitter video or the X video or whatever it's called. Don't go to X video. I think it's like a porn site or something like that. Someone told me that and I typed it in and it was bad. I didn't want to.
It's a trap.
It was a trap. It was a trap. So,
yeah, don't do that.
But no, I didn't go into the link. I noticed it said porn on it and I was like, well, no, we're not going to do that. So here's the reality. If you, how do you, I mean, YouTube has to have like separate accounts, YouTube adult, YouTube kids, and I know they actually have that right now. Would it be it's really 2 separate industries and they should make it 2 separate things, where like YouTube kids is all kids and you can't get any of the other adult channels, but a lot of kids watch adult content, meaning like just we're both gamers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like the video games, it's 18 plus.
Oh yeah. Twitch.
Yeah. So there's 8, 10,
I don't know of any
kids'
Twitch account. If a kid logged into their Twitch account, they have access to whoever's streaming, whoever's smoking weed on stream, whoever's
but even with Twitch
talking about BS.
Yeah, but even with Twitch, we still can't. Can't smoke cigars on there. So and it gets a little frustrating.
You're not supposed to drink either, but people still get trashed and
you can just
stream
hide.
on. Yeah.
You can just hide whatever it is in a cup or whatever. That kind of thing. So I think the obvious thing that we're trying to work with here is trying to be good community citizens with YouTube in the ever-changing landscape of their community guidelines.
Yeah.
And I think as a cigar community, we won't be able to do that for very long because they don't want to just have you part of a community and be responsible, because I think we've been responsible. They don't want you in the community, period.
Yeah, which is weird, man. It's like, so here's the thing, right? It's like somebody came to you and said, like, it's weird. It's like they don't want to sell their soul to this type of business, right? But yet, look what they do sell their soul to.
What's that?
Just every other thing you can think of.
They
bro.
do. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's people joke with me all the time, and they're like, well, if you got an LGBTQ guy on here, or if you got a transgender person on here, you would definitely make the rankings. You just would. And how sad is that that's a narrative of our day? You know, that we're so politically divided in our country that you would have to bring somebody on. And we've seen people do that just to get ratings and what have you. And so, like,
well, yeah, Bud Light tried it.
Right. So, like, and there was a big outcry and everything else like that. And they took different videos down. So, like, yeah, that's the other thing, too. Like, I don't get it, though, because in all honesty, there's great conservative channels out there and great, like, people out there that do a lot of good content, and their stuff's not taken down, or I don't see it taken down anywhere, you know, and their stuff's more risky than anything we've ever said, you know, politically speaking. So if YouTube and Google are far left, which they tend to be and which they are, and you can go look at their political statements and who they back and everything else like that, that's just a reality. But what's funny is a lot of the conservative stuff, it makes up a ton of, like, money. And make no mistake, dude, I got a bone to pick with a lot of conservative pundits. I really do, because I think they're in it for the money. I don't think they care about change. I think they care about
too many
money.
people.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Well, YouTube's definitely a problem. There's also cronies out there that like to report all of our videos, but we'll leave that shit for the birds.
The cronies.
The cronies.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Clean and some other people.
Yeah. I think, but in all honesty, I think that the reality becomes that the more competitive a space gets, which cigar reviews are competitive now.
Well, so I was getting ready to say that.
Go ahead.
So if you notice, we had a video that went nuts, and you had a video that went good that you did by yourself on a fall sampler.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you see a huge incline in uptick in video time watch, subscriber content, likes on videos, interaction in videos, is when stuff like this happens.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, 100%.
Every single time.
Yeah, they're like, why? Whenever you spike, they go, why is that? What happened? You know, so there's more people watching it. Somehow it broke the YouTube algorithm. It broke out of the YouTube algorithm jails.
And they're like, oh, go back down.
Right, exactly. Let's go find something and get them in jail so they can't influence any of our young people anymore, which, my gosh, dude, nobody watches this thing who's 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. You're all 20-something years old. I've seen the stats. I see the stats of everybody who watches this.
Well, unless they're lying about the account.
Well, true. But I can't control that. That's the other thing, too. You can't control that, man. You know, but these young kids aren't going to smoke cigars. They just won't, you know.
Well, and there's two other things that I find really interesting about this, right? Number one is people are always like, well, go to this website, go to this other one, go to Rumble, go here, go there. But then they don't go there and watch the videos.
Right. Some don't. Yeah, not everybody.
If you want to make a change, you got to support the change, right? Like,
that's true.
If you want to crack free of the YouTube BS, then go start supporting more people on these other platforms. Not just us, anybody who has to move over to that channel.
But as a content creator, it's incredibly hard.
Yeah, it's
and I'll
very
say that
hard.
because Rumble is not nearly as intuitive to use as YouTube, and it's not nearly seen by as many people as YouTube. You know, but I absolutely agree with you. If you're going to say things like, dude, get out of there and go to Rumble, and then you never go to Rumble, watch anything else, and watch everything else on YouTube,
you're part of the problem.
Yeah. So
the other part of this is YouTube is kind of not, they're not smart about this. Think about this. Think of what YouTube is.
This is going to be on YouTube, so let's not give them any kind of ammo.
Seriously, if they take this idea, I'm marking it right here. I want half of it. So here's the thing. If they were smart, they would break YouTube up into sections. Mm-hmm. And they would make a subscription for each one of those sections independently. Mm-hmm. YouTube TV.
Yeah.
This is all of our YouTube channels, content creators like this, as well as our movies and our TV shows that we're making.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube educational.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People like Scotty Kilmore, people that are doing repairs on stuff.
Like
people
YouTube
that are,
how-tos.
Oh,
yes. How-to, yeah.
And then the third section, they can break it up into kids.
Mm-hmm.
right? And then if they really wanted to, they could do an adult content section,
right?
Without making it about porno and dirty
right.
stuff,
Just,
right?
Mature content or something like that. You know,
18
something
plus, which they make a lot of our videos get switched over to anyway.
Yeah, they could make an ATF part of the channel. They could make an alcohol, tobacco, firearms,
and then people would subscribe to that. People would pay the extra $2 to add that particular part to their channel. Hey, YouTube, why don't you make some freaking money and quit being stupid?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea whatsoever.
Man, people are so stupid. You want to make more money? Use the people that want to get away from you and bring them back in to pay you more money.
But to your point, one of the reasons that they say things like we're dangerous and that we're targeting kids or things like that, they make up things like that all the time, that our content is very dangerous and it violates community guidelines, is it's a way to paint us as the evil guys.
Yeah.
You know,
that prank video where that dude just got shot that's on YouTube isn't dangerous?
Yeah, there's so many prank videos.
The guys that dress
YouTube,
up as Saudis and they run into places in all white, like chic dress and throw suitcases into places. You think that's safe?
Dude, one of the best channels I watch.
Panic?
One of the best channels I watch. It's called Top Notch Idiots. Okay, the guys that go into gangland and try to pick fights with gangs. And I mean, the guys, literally, it's hysterical, but it's super dangerous. It's not something you'd ever want on YouTube unless it was like an adult side of it, you know, because when kids watch it, they think it's funny, but these guys almost get killed for half the stuff they do. Funny content, but like absolutely scary.
He's like, you trying to get, what's he say? You trying to get stacked up or something? Fool?
No. He's like, trying to get
what do you mean
out.
you trying to get stacked up?
He's like, you're trying to get punched out. He goes to a bunch of like Lance.
And then he pulls out like a stack of money.
Yeah, it goes to Crips and Bloods, like you trying to get punched out, and he's got like a Hawaiian punch with him. And he's like, no, dude, I'm trying to get punched. You know, I mean, it's absolutely, it's funny content, but one of the scariest things about it is it's very, very dangerous. And then somebody, like you said, this last week got shot, you know, for trying to prank somebody.
For continuously following some dude in a mall trying to be
And that guy who shot him was acquitted. Yeah, the guy who shot him was acquitted. Yeah, the other guys, I don't know if he's in the hospital or whatever, you know, but. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't get it, man. I don't understand. And maybe that's the problem. And maybe that's another downside to like AI. They can't make those emotional decisions about, okay, this is leaning this way or this is leaning with this way or it's not. It just sees yes or no.
So let me address that a little bit, because I get lots of emails and lots of messages from people like, I don't know why you guys would ever get banned because you're so nice and you're so cordial. You're also Christians. You were a former pastor.
Well, Christians is one reason why we get banned.
That's probably one of them. But I mean, when it comes down to it, you guys are just super nice, and you're not, you know, you're not trying to pick fights with people on YouTube. Yeah, dude, you're not drama oriented or anything else like that.
We don't have like I could point out 3 other YouTube channels that I've seen that just cultivate just like a dirty culture. Like there was one video I was watching where it was like a live show, and all they did was talk about somebody on the show's man tits for like 20 minutes,
dude.
And I'm like, that's just straight and the whole community was talking about it.
It's junior high, dude.
The whole community was talking about it, right?
Yeah,
so. Yeah, like we're not on here insulting people and talking about people's man. The only thing we insult, if anything, is somebody's cigar, and then at that point, then we got to talk to the manufacturer on why we insulted their cigar. But even then, we try not to bring cigars on that we don't like.
Well, the one thing that we are as adults is we're mature. We're not people who are 8th graders run through a hallway with their hair caught on fire. Things like that. We don't find stuff to be really enjoyable. And if you like that stuff, and a lot of people do like that stuff, go ahead and watch it. But the reality is, one day you're going to grow up and you're going to want like real mature content that like helps you grow in wisdom and strength and things like that. That's what we're about as far as the content that we put out, you know. So but when it comes down to understanding things about cigars, I think it all of a sudden gets lumped into the bad side of YouTube, or it's like the restrictive side of YouTube, where it really shouldn't be that way, because in the rest of life it's not that way. And the rest of life it's not that way, meaning like cigars are on like video games like crazy. Cigars are like all over pop culture right now like crazy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening with cigars. We just got reached out to by a sports figure that wants to, a popular sports figure.
We'll keep that on the DL for now.
Yeah, that wants us to maybe make his cigar for him. So, I mean, like as a result, like there's certain things that like when things happen, you're kind of like, why are we getting tagged as the bad guys that we violated some community standards? Like when I hear the word violation, I'm just like, man, is that like a virtue signal or something like that? I mean, that's not true, because like that's not our intent. And there's no dialogue or anything. It's just on automatic. And I understand that YouTube's got billions of people on it, and so they can't do that, and they have to have AI run that. But that's one also the downsides of AI. You don't have somebody you can talk to or appeal to. It goes to an AI thing, and I doubt that a real board of people looked at the video that gave any kind of credibility to the things that we've done in the community we've built and the content that we put out. I know that they don't care about anything else like that. There's like, cigars, bad, get them out of here.
And even if I just thought of this, bro, like coming from tech, I could just imagine how many videos are getting strikes, copyright, blah, 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 right? And I wonder how many appeals get sent. And I wonder if anybody is even able to review those appeals, or if it is an automated system that reviews the appeals and then just responds.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know that.
It's just weird, dude. It's a weird day. And it's a weird age. But let's talk about these cigars real quick before we end, because we want to give you a little shout out for the cigars to the Bongani company. These cigars, by the way, fantastic cigars.
Very good.
Very, very good cigar. So I got immense amounts of coffee and chocolate out of it. You know, maybe a nice little woodsy note, creaminess and some nuttiness. Very easy to smoke. You said it's full African. Is it a Cameroon?
The wrapper, I believe, is an African Cameroon, but I believe the rest is just some sort of African tobacco that I don't think they really share where it's coming from. I know which region it comes from. I'm gonna butcher it like crazy, but it comes from the.
It's a great cigar. It really is a good cigar. Anybody who smokes this cigar, I'd say it's a light to medium. I wouldn't say it
very much so. Yeah,
light to medium cigar.
It comes from Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Mozambique. Yeah, Mozambique. Yeah. So
Mozambique.
So, and they're gradually expanding their growing presence to the U.S. and Europe. So they don't only just grow in Africa at the moment, but they're trying to grow other places as well. The wrapper is Cameroon.
It's an absolute delicious cigar. It really is.
They grow the tobacco in the Manica province, Manica. And soon they're going to be growing some in Nigeria. And the cigars are aged in special cedar that comes from Ghana.
The mixture of the mixture of tobacco. Can I tell you what it tastes like?
Yeah,
it tastes like a spicy fuente.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it tastes like a spicy fuente, like there's more like a short story or a spicy fuente, or you know what else it tastes like?
Don Carlos.
No, I'm gonna tell it to you. Let me know. The whiskey sunset. I'd say with less caramel.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah,
maybe not as much spice.
Okay.
The whiskey sunset might have just a little bit more of like an all spicy nutmeg to it. But this is a very creamy, smooth, enjoyable cigar.
It really is. Well, guys, we want to thank you so much for joining us with the Cut Light and Smoke podcast. Sorry. Thanks again for joining us. Drop your comments below on what you think about YouTube and everything else like that. I would love to hear them. And you'll catch us on YouTube, on our podcast channel, and you'll catch it at our other social media stuff that you can find in the description below. So for the Cut Light and Smoke podcast, I've been Bradley, of course, my co-host JB, and we are out of here like last year.